What is going down, everyone? It's time for the hype number 214. MojoBreak.com is a website for your breaks. Mojo Break shop for your sealed wax. We got another exciting episode. We're going to discuss NFL MVPs as it is in terms of Week 11. Who's the standout? What are their card prices right now? So we're going to have a debate on that. We're going to talk VHS tapes. They're becoming kind of a commodity in the collectible industry. So we're going to discuss stuff from the 80s and 90s. It's going to be fun. It's going to be nostalgic. We'll probably tie a giveaway into that. We're also going to name the giveaway winner from last week. So that should be pretty awesome to get into. We got some specials on the MojoBreakShop.com page. We're doing updates still at $69.99. That is Topps Update Series 1, Update Series Baseball hobby boxes at $70. So go ahead and hit that up, MojoBreakShop.com. They've been flying, so there's very limited quantity available. And of course, we have our daily deals going on. We got Chronicles Draft Pick still. We got Chronicles Baseball Regular and MLS Chrome. Save $40 on MLS Chrome. That's MojoBreakShop.com. We ship around the world. Dan, how did the Rams treat you Monday night?
Not great. It was a bad game.
You guys were all at the game, right?
Yeah, the Rams didn't show up. Like I was saying before I even left to go to the game, I was like, every team in that division, they play each other well. So am I surprised the Niners beat the Rams? No. Am I surprised they beat them by 3 touchdowns? A little bit.
Yeah. 5 in a row.
Yeah, 5 in a row. Congrats. Go Niners.
Shanahan, he just owns McVay. I was looking for a picture to put on the slide of, from The Hangover where they had baby Carlos. I wanted to have Shanahan and baby McVay because, who's your daddy? It's Shanahan. Now, we may not make the playoffs.
It doesn't matter what you do in Week 10, though. So if you win the Super Bowl, you don't go back and discredit that Super Bowl win because you lost in Week 10. So
that is true.
I'm not worried about it. You can't win every game. The Rams have lost 2 games in a row. They got to figure it out. They got a bye week. They go into Green Bay. They lose a 3rd game in a row. You could start talking about.
So you guys have Green Bay after the bye, then.
We have Green Bay after a bye. And historically, the Rams under Sean McVay do not play well after a bye.
Damn.
So,
but I think your bye was necessary. I think to get OBJ, Von Miller in the mix, get some practice under those guys' belt because. We were talking about off the air. I felt like that OBJ, where he was kind of involved in that first interception. I think that might have had a lot to do with not the familiarity of the 2 players and maybe him not knowing a route. And he had just literally joined the team.
I don't know. I don't know if he should have really been. I know Robert Woods was injured, so like they needed somebody to step up in that position. But I don't know if I would have given him as many offensive snaps as they did. Like, he was out there. He was out there a lot. In contrast, Deshaun Jackson only played 7 or 8 snaps.
And he had a really bad one.
And he had a fumble that literally lost the game for him. I felt that was a turning point in the Raiders game. He doesn't make that fumble. I don't think. I think that game. I think that game's a lot closer.
Yeah. See, I was gonna say, are we still down on Mahomes?
Yes.
I mean, I didn't watch the game. I did see the stat line. He threw five touchdowns. There was like 2 of them that were 1 yard.
I'll tell you what. He looked like his old self against us, which is it's fair. Again, we still don't have the best defense in the league. It was much improved this year overall, but we're still not great. We're still probably not even good yet. But Mahomes definitely looked like his old self against us. I'll say that.
And you know what? We're going to talk about that coming up in the NFL MVP section of the show. But, and before we get into my Transcendent experience, I feel that there's a lot less, there's usually a standout team in the NFL by now. And I feel like it's just wide open at this point.
Well, you can make an argument that the Titans, they're the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Yep.
They have something crazy.
They've been really hot.
I think, their last 5 victories were all against teams that made the playoffs last year.
Yeah, they beat the Chiefs, the Rams, the Packers, maybe. They beat 5
Seahawks?
Bills. I think they beat the Bills.
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
They have beat the Seahawks this year. They beat them earlier. Did they? I think they beat them.
I know for sure
maybe not.
They beat the Bills, the Rams, and the Chiefs, which is that's incredible. I mean, you got to think their schedule's got to be pretty soft if they've played those teams already.
Yeah, I mean, and they just lost their number one player on their team.
Yeah, no doubt.
Not just running back. I mean, one of the top players in the league. They just lost him, and they look great. I mean, Tannehill looks legit. Their defense looks legit. I mean, they're the number one seed in the AFC for a reason.
Yeah, be interesting to see. We're actually going to be talking about Tannehill's cards coming up as well. But this last Sunday, while the Raiders were losing and we were getting ready for the Niners game here, I was at the Transcendent party in Arizona, which was held at the Scottsdale Stadium, home of the Giants during spring training. And it was part of the 2020 Bowman Transcendent product, which they made 100 cases of, and each case had an invitation in there to this party. And we've done a few of these in the past, but if you're new to the show, I'll kind of give you guys the lay of the land and what happens at these events, because Topps has kind of pivoted into the event business, and they've done these for WWE, they've done it for tennis, and they've done it for Topps Transcendent and now Bowman Transcendent, and this was the inaugural Bowman Transcendent party. So in Scottsdale, and it starts off with a cocktail mixer where it's open bar, you can get whatever you want for about an hour, and you're kind of mingling with other people. I knew some breakers and some friends that were there, so that was cool. And then they move you into a room, and they brought out Marco Luciano, which I was stoked as a Giants fan to be in the building with him. They brought out Nolan Gorman and Spencer Torkelson, and then while we ate, which I got the chicken, which was okay, it wasn't bad. I ate the chicken and listened to these guys talk about their short career so far, and just baseball in general, and fielded questions from the crowd. I did want to ask a Barry Bonds question, but I did not.
You didn't?
I didn't. I was going to. There was a few people that asked like 6 or 7 questions. They were just hogging the mic. So I said, you know what? I'm not gonna ask that.
What would you ask these kids about Barry Bonds?
Well, I specifically, and this is maybe my new man crush here, is I did not know Spencer Torkelson is from the Bay Area, and I did not know that he was a Sun Devil. And I found that out through Wikipedia. And as you know, Barry Bonds was a Sun Devil as well. So I wanted to ask him if he had ever met Barry Bonds. Turns out he broke one of Barry's records because somebody else asked about it. So kind of somebody already asked about Barry Bonds, so I didn't want to ask about Barry Bonds. But here's a picture of me with the 3 guys. That is Luciano on my right, Gorman immediately to my left, and then Torkelson to my right, and then Gorman at the end there. So really kind of the way that Torkelson kind of talked, it just like felt like he could be the face of baseball, the way that he carried himself. Got a pro mustache as well. You can see in the next slide, it was like eyes met, sparks flew. He's my new PC guy.
I'm assuming that all those guys are currently playing at the Arizona Fall League.
Yes. And that was convenient for them. Now, Dan probably wouldn't like the fact that he was preparing for a flood in that picture, but it's just more of a young man fashion dynamic.
So is Luciano.
Yeah. Well, you can get away with it if you wear the.
I actually look.
I'm the joggers.
Are you showing the forbidden ankles?
No, I am not. I am not showing the forbidden ankles.
Nolan Gorman, he's got it figured out. He's got man pants on.
So yeah, and I mean, it was just like I said, the way I don't know Torkelson's abilities on the Tigers. Riley Green's there as well. But I just felt like the way he kind of carried himself and his confidence, that this guy could be like a face of baseball. So definitely grabbing up some of his cards. Getting back into short pants.
Mm-hmm. Is this something that if you? I don't know. This is a straight question. I don't know. Do you buy them like that, or do you get them like hemmed?
Do you buy them like that?
They just come short.
Mm-hmm.
They come short like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
But you can, I do shop at Nordstrom sometimes, and they did ask me if I wanted to get my pants hemmed. So it is an option.
So, yeah, if they're like, you're showing off the ankles, or you going no ankle.
Right, because, not all pants fit the same way. So maybe your waist, and then they're too long, so you probably do need to get them hemmed to show off the ankles.
Yeah, I was just thinking. I have no idea.
C-Rad, you show the forbidden ankles?
I do not have. I do not own pants like that. You know, I do wear a lot of joggers, but I don't have ones that show my ankles.
I sport the joggers too, which does show a little bit of ankle.
Yeah.
I think that's acceptable for my age demographic is the joggers.
Yeah.
But
What you sweatpants? Is that what we're talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah,
We're talking
sweatpants.
sweatpants, but
They're
we call
called
but we call them joggers.
they're called joggers.
We call them joggers,
Just in
but
case you
Because
wanna go
they're
for a
little
jog.
back in the day we used to call those sweatpants.
Well, sweatpants are the same size all throughout the leg. I think joggers they get tight towards the bottom. of your
Remember
ankle.
baggy, like the super baggy sweatpants?
They're like
those are-
super baggy up top.
Yeah, they,
like the
just
MC Hammers.
Yeah, well, no, and then like they were baggy everywhere. It was like
Oh,
it
yeah.
was back in the day, you know.
Like
Yeah,
our
yeah.
friend Mike Bremley wears the softball games.
Okay, not the
Yeah,
MC
yeah,
Hammers.
yeah.
Just that's what I mean. Sweatpants are like they're the same size all throughout. So like if it's all baggy, it's all baggy all the way down.
Okay, joggers are tapered at the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it's more aerodynamic when you say you're taking a jog around the neighborhood. Or you're hitting the
dude, you
track.
know, I get it. They're called joggers. You know, I get the
I'm
premise.
trying to,
I don't.
trying to make you aware. Of
I don't.
But yeah, I mean,
Let's all get Dan joggers for Christmas.
we should. See, I've supported the shorter shorts fashion statement, but I do not support
The shorter shorts, like in basketball
The
or like
Jordan-
in real
the
life.
Jor-
not quite that short, but like I know some people say you shouldn't go above the knee. I believe that you should go above the knee.
Do you go above the knee?
You talking about in, like-
You're above the knee short wear
I
guy.
am. Yes.
Like for like jean shorts or
Jean
basketball
shorts?
I
shorts?
don't wear jean shorts, bro. I haven't done that.
Or
since
like, what about
1995.
khaki shorts?
Cargo shorts.
Cargo shorts.
joggers?
Cargo shorts.
I don't wear cargo shorts either.
So you're talking about basketball shorts then?
I don't know what you would call them, but just shorts, man. I mean, I guess
Oh,
they could be
okay,
khaki.
like shorts.
yeah.
Yeah, like the okay.
Like short pants. Like pants that are like
No, those are capris.
a quarter of the size.
Yeah, but I just it's more comfortable. I mean, if it goes below the knee, you get it caught
Oh
somewhere.
no, it should go like if you're wearing shorts,
Just to go
they should go probably I don't know,
halfway.
like right above your ankle, like all the way down. Baggy.
That's
you know,
always-
like the Jankos back in the day,
Yeah.
where like it kind of looked like they were pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the correct shorts. Or if you're gonna go basketball shorts, they got to be super baggy.
basketball shorts.
Basketball shorts have to be baggy.
That's all I know.
Yeah, I don't. Just tight shorts just don't seem
Now,
very
there's-
comfortable.
If anybody wants to comment, are you a shorter or shorter? Who wears short shorts? No. Are you wearing your shorts above the knee or below the knee? I'm just curious to know. I mean, everybody's from
One
different
correct
parts of
answer.
the country, different parts of the world. I just want to know, all right, what kind of shorts are you?
Should
sporting
attach a
these days?
giveaway to that.
Should.
Are you above the knee or below the knee?
So yeah, and then back to we went off on a fashion tangent. Not a fashionista, but I get caught up in these Instagram ads.
If there's one thing that sports card breakers know is fashion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Go to the National.
Yep. We're. I'm surprised they don't have runway shows at the National just for fashion.
They should. For
What do you think-
for breakers.
Yeah, for breakers.
Just breakers doing the runway model gig. Yeah, I see it. Next National.
What-
Actually, I have a. It's Mojo Break is sponsoring it. We're sponsoring the runway breaker model show.
What do you think the number one item of the season would be?
Polo
Card
shirt.
stand.
Polo shirt.
A card stand.
Tucked in.
Tucked in polo
Tucked in
shirt.
polo shirts.
You have to walk out with the card stand in your hand with your
You
company's logo
You say
on it.
cargo shorts.
Huh?
Cargo
These are card
shorts.
stands.
Card stand.
Card stand. Like as bling.
How about Pelican cases?
Oh, Pelican case. Oh yeah.
Pelican cases.
Pelican
That's
cases.
an accessory, though. I mean, we're talking more about clothing. Now, if we had-
Okay.
We'd have to have an
I
accessory
would
show.
say the
C-Rad 615
The hat,
accessory
dude.
show.
The hat is the main breaker
Yeah, that's true.
fashion
The,
item. I would
Baseball
say.
hat.
the shoes would be pretty good. I've seen some really really nice shoes at the National. Probably see a
Shoes,
lot of
hat.
lot of Jordans, a lot of LeBrons.
Definitely.
Some good shoes.
Shoe game is tight. in
Shoe
the
game
breaker
is
world,
tight.
in the card collecting industry. But yeah, then the last little photo here is of the workout room, and they have the 3 World Series championships on the wall. So it's a nice facility. I've been to Scottsdale Stadium before for a game, but I've never been inside, all the places. And we got the full tour. I got to hit some baseballs in the cage, which was cool. I actually also threw a ball from the warning track. I think I threw it the farthest out of everybody. I still got it, even at the old age of 39. I still can throw the ball from the outfield onto second base. So, yeah, I did that. I was the only one.
Yeah,
sign me up.
It sounds painful. My shoulder's messed up. I would not have been able to do that.
Oh, it still hurts. Yeah, I'm still. I might need.
Did you get it? Did you get to like run up and do a little crow hop? Or
I did that.
Are you
yeah.
okay?
Yeah,
you
we didn't do it.
You just do it like flat-footed.
No. Even though I was a little lenient to get on the dirt because I was wearing some nicer shoes, but I said, you know what, I got to do it.
There we go with that fashion again.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see what shoes.
They're Emilio Zadanas, something like that.
From the pictures? Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell from the pictures. They were dark, right? Black?
They were dark, but they don't have any laces. They,
I see.
yeah.
So you never have to learn how to tie your shoes?
No, exactly.
I like it.
Right on. I love those type of shoes.
I'm getting into the age where it's Velcro, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, love it.
Velcro shoes. But let's get into our first segment on cards. With enough about fashion, we're going to talk about NFL MVPs, baby. And here's some of the odds. Allen and Brady are the favorites. This was a website that had the odds as of Week 11. Tom Brady with the best odds, Josh Allen second, then Kyler Murray, Matt Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Ryan Tannehill, and your Derek Carr from your Las Vegas Raiders.
Let's go.
So any dispute to that list? Is there a position player like a Jonathan Taylor or a Cooper Kupp that maybe that you might consider for the MVP this year so far?
I mean, that's fallen right in line with what we talk about all the time. It's a quarterback-driven league.
Yeah.
It's
all quarterbacks.
It's gonna be a quarterback that wins the MVP. I might, depending on what Dallas does, I might put Dak a little bit higher.
I think I'm with you. Tom Brady, obviously, if I had to choose somebody, not the MVP, is somebody that might possibly win a Super Bowl still, you can never count him out. But I don't know if he wouldn't be my number one MVP right now, especially the last 2 weeks. Dak would be a lot higher. I would say Dak could probably be even first
Brady
or second, dude.
He is number one on that list because his name is Tom Brady.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I think that's.
You don't think he would be on the top of the list based on his performance? He's leading the league in touchdowns and
he's up there,
close,
but I'm just saying, like,
I know there's so much that can happen between right now and the end of the season. So it's a crapshoot. There's probably 5 or 6 players on that list that can leapfrog other players and actually win the
yeah,
MVP.
Definitely. I mean, there's definitely a lot that could happen, but it goes back to what I was saying at the beginning of the episode, where I feel like there's no clear-cut favorite, and I kind of feel the same way with this MVP listing. I think Josh Allen's a little high. I mean, after that performance against the Jaguars, I know he bounced back after that. Stafford being at 4 with the 2 losses right now.
Brady has 2 losses 2 weeks in a row now too.
That's true.
That's why I said I don't have him at number one. It could change. He could get back up there, but. Is this like the most recent list?
Stafford has 3 losses.
Yeah.
Stafford has 3 losses. Brady has 2.
Right now for me, Dak and Rodgers are probably 1 and 2 in terms of
and
right at this moment.
And Buccaneers didn't look great. The Cowboys look really good.
But not the week before.
Not the week before.
Against Denver.
But that was one. Yeah,
but against Atlanta, they destroyed them. Stafford didn't look great. Kyler Murray didn't look great.
Well, Kyler Murray didn't play for 2 weeks.
That's true. Kyler Murray, but his team has lost
1 out of the 2.
1 out of the 2.
Yeah, they somehow beat us with Colt McCoy, but then we beat you guys. It doesn't make any sense to me. But that's the
know.
NFL for you guys.
Yeah, but
that's the NFL.
But how much has Kyler Murray not played the last 2 weeks has hurt his MVP? Can he come back and win the MVP missing 2 games?
Possibly.
His stat line isn't going to be on par with Brady and Allen and probably even Stafford.
He should have the rushing yards.
Rodgers missed
besides maybe Lamar,
game.
But it might be a good thing for Kyler because last year I think he had 8 bad weeks at the end of the season because I think he was exhausted. So maybe having 2 weeks off now, he's in a situation where maybe he's rested and can go for the rest of the season.
I don't think you never want to miss games because of injury though.
Yeah, but you got to also
as much as he may be rested, he can also re-injure that injury.
I get that, but this is the first year that we have 18 weeks in the NFL, and these guys are playing 1 extra game. So I think teams are considering not playing guys like Dak didn't. Dak could have played the game that they won with who was playing? Cooper Rush. He could have played that game, but they said, hey, it's a longer season. So I think you may see a little bit more of like, maybe if we're up. Maybe we're playing a bad team. We're not going to play our star if he's a little banged up.
You know what the NFL should do, though, and they probably will at some point, is add another bye week.
Probably should. Especially the teams that had like week 5 buys or week 6 buys.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to add another regular season game, then add another bye week.
Gotcha, yeah.
Because if you look at it, I think there was like 1 week where like 6 teams had a bye.
Right.
It was like crazy. And I'm like, wouldn't that be better just to space them out a little bit better? Like maybe start the buys even at like week 3, but end the buys like week. I guess you could even do it.
Yeah,
like
but if
week
you got
16.
a week 3 or 4 bye, that sucks. That's a long season after.
Yeah, but if you have another bye.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, so let's look at some of the prices on some. I kind of focus on Prizm and then Chrome for some of the older guys. I didn't really put Tom Brady's prices in here because we know that's going to be the highest. And not that I'm saying it's a bad investment, but it's definitely a blue chip at this point because nothing's going to hurt his standing, regardless of what he does this year. But Ryan Tannehill, I thought, might be a decent buy at $67 for a PSA 10 Prizm, which happens to be 2012 Prizm as well. So it's the first football Prizm made, right? So I $67, and then you got Derek Carr at $135 for the 2014 Prizm PSA 10.
2012 Prizm football. It was the first year, just like basketball. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Okay.
And you got Russell Wilson.
You have Russell Wilson. You have Andrew Luck.
Oh, so Luck and RG and they were driving the first year product.
I mean, I think he's in the top 10 right now. They just beat the Rams without Henry, so you got to put that on Tannehill. I know he's on the Dolphins in this card, which kind of hurts the value of a Titan fan wants it. Mm-hmm. But man, $67, and that sold November 9th. I might start buying some Ryan Tannehill at that price. And then you go to the next slide. We got Matt Stafford, which they didn't make Prizm back then, but we got a 2009 Topps Chrome base PSA 9, $315. Lamar Jackson 2018 PSA 10, which they printed a lot more than all these other ones, $352.
It seems a little high.
And then you got Kyler Murray, PSA 10, $281. And then you got Josh Allen, obviously is the favorite amongst collectors at $697. So, and I'll show you guys these slides on the video. I was not showing the slides. But you got Ryan Tannehill, 67, Derek Carr, 135, Matt Stafford, 315, Lamar at 352, Kyler at 281, and Josh Allen at 697. Is that too high for Josh Allen for a pick?
The numbers that jump out at me that I think that feel too high is the Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson.
I think Lamar Jackson is more reasonable than Josh Allen. Josh Allen is almost 2.5 times more than this Kyler Murray, which is insane to me.
Yeah, it is.
Lamar Jackson is almost $100 more than Kyler Murray.
Yeah,
yeah,
but still way lower than Josh Allen. Look at this,
Kyler
Josh,
Murray
700 for Josh Allen. What has the man done?
People, and that's what's the funny thing about this hobby is it's not necessarily the intangibles, it's the likability. I think a lot more people like Josh Allen.
They like his swag.
Man, if that is what a base rookie goes for, what is a Josh Allen silver?
Especially since how rare they were.
How rare they were in 18.
Yeah. I think we have a raw one somewhere.
We do.
Yeah. We bought a raw one. I think for like cheaper than that. I think we bought it for like $500.
Yeah. That might be a $3,000 card.
Could be. And then we have that one that we pulled with Staley, the green cracked ice PSA 9. That's probably got to be a $3,000 or $4,000 card at this point. Mm-hmm. So
are you selling Josh Allen?
Probably should. Yeah, probably should go get that card right after the show. Throw it up there.
I would.
What about Kyler? Is that still a buy price at $281?
That's still a buy price. If you
yeah.
compare them to the other guys, like, geez,
what
does Kyler got to do?
It's bizarre that I feel that Kyler being the first overall pick, still undervalued.
Is Matt Stafford a sell at $315? I mean, there's probably a pretty low. That's probably got to be, judging by its 2009, it's probably got to be the lowest pop.
It's going to be tough to find another one if you sell that.
Right. Well, you mean like I did, like I sold the auto version?
Yeah, I would buy Stafford right now too. I'm still high on the Rams for the rest of the season. I'm still buying Kyler.
But he's kind of at the end of his career, right? It's safe to say he's at the end of his career.
Yeah.
So what I mean, and that's the thing that all these other guys still have a majority of their career in front of them, right? Maybe with the exception of Tannehill and Carr. Maybe Carr's midway through his career.
I think we talked about it. Maybe it was a few weeks ago on the show about Matt Stafford, right? It's like, I mean, it really is going to depend. not so much actually. Like if he wins the Super Bowl, it's gonna help his legacy. But I think he's kind of. What did we say last time? Like he needs to win a Super Bowl to cement his legacy, or
I mean, I don't know. I think
to get into the Hall of Fame.
I think to get into the Hall of Fame, I think he's already in.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, because if you, I mean,
you go by
look at Calvin Johnson.
Yeah.
Calvin Johnson got in, and they played on the same team.
Yeah, true.
So
NFL is definitely a little bit easier to get into than baseball.
I think even if if Stafford retired in the next 2 years and did not win a Super Bowl or an MVP or anything like that, I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I mean the amount of yards the guy threw every year was incredible. So
and his durability.
Yeah.
The one thing about Stafford is that he is consistently out there.
Yeah.
Now that I say that.
The Lamar Jackson on this list is the one that's kind of enticing to me because the Ravens are like really good one week and then another week they won't look as good. It's very highly inconsistent. Now, are they still maybe the favorite? Probably over the Bengals, I would say. They're probably still the favorite of that division.
Yeah.
Steelers are a mess. I mean, Roethlisberger's probably final tour, and then he didn't even play. Mason Rudolph is just not the guy.
What happened to Dwayne Haskins?
They should start him. He's still on the team.
I actually thought Dwayne Haskins was the backup.
I thought so too, but I guess not. Apparently not. And maybe he's celebrating in the fourth quarter for wins like he did on Washington. But Lamar Jackson, I mean, when we seen him live at the Vegas Raider game, the moves that guy has when he's in the open field is almost better than any running back in the league. The guy is just so shifty and how he can elude defenders. I think he has something like ridiculous, like yards per carry is insane compared to even running backs. Mm-hmm. So, and, the arm maybe not as exciting as you'd want it to be, but I don't know. I think 352 is not a bad deal. I think I think he's like the guy people sleep on. Lamar Jackson gets slept on a lot.
Yeah, and I think if you're paying attention to Lamar Jackson too, like just asterisk, I say it's a good buy too, but he really is the stock market of football cards. Like he will go up, he'll go down, just like their play. Like whatever's happening, like it really affects him a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the thing about Lamar Jackson and what he has done in his career without what you would probably consider a quote-unquote like number one receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you can consider like
Hollywood Brown
a number one receiver. He has Sammy Watkins at the end of his career. He's nothing like he was when he was with the Bills. Got Rashad Bateman, who's a young guy, but you wouldn't consider him like one of the top rookies. Mark Andrews has been kind of like his number one receiver. So, I mean, what if you had like a Devontae Adams
That's a good point.
on the Ravens? We sit there and talk about his running, but he has never had that legitimate number one target to see what he can do in the passing game.
Well, just to refresh everybody, he was a 2019 MVP, which I don't know if any of these other guys on this list, with the exception of obviously Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, have won MVPs. I don't think Stafford didn't win an MVP, right? And we know the other guys didn't.
And also, just to point out too, he had that game this season where he had 400 passing yards. Remember, we talk about we talk about his running, but you're right. If he had even greater weapons, like he could possibly be doing that every single game. Maybe he don't have to run as much. He could still run, but he had that game that they won decisively, and he had 400 passing yards. I think like 3 touchdowns. Which
give Lamar Jackson, Chris Godwin, and Mike Evans.
Well, here's some things that, because like I said, I think we sleep on him, according to myself. He has NFL records. He has the most single-season rushing yards by a quarterback at 1,200. And that was in 2019. He had the most single-season rushing attempts by a quarterback, which actually goes in line with that record as well. He has the most 1,000-yard rushing seasons by a quarterback with 2. That's insane, which you thought that Vic would have 1,000. I guess he didn't. He also has the most games with a perfect passer rating in the same season. Mm-hmm. So he had a perfect – in 2019, he had a perfect passer rating twice.
Makes sense. He won the MVP.
He's got 82 touchdowns and 26 interceptions in his career. He has a completion percentage of 64%. He has 3,500 career rushing yards, and his career passer rating is 100 right now. That's pretty dang good. I think he should be selling more than Josh Allen.
That's amazing, yeah. They're the same draft class. That's what I mean. I'm like, Allen is way over – I feel like he's way overpriced at $700. Like, what?
But do we get back to the likability? Is Josh Allen just more likable than Lamar Jackson?
But are the Bills necessarily a more likable team than the Ravens? Not really, right?
Yeah, hard to say. I mean, Allen reminds me of like kind of the new version of like a Brett Favre. Like he's a gunslinger. He'll throw.
I think Aaron Rodgers might be a better example because of the rushing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but
bigger.
But bigger. I look at him and I think of like Brett Favre, but like elusive.
If he could be Brett Favre,
he has that same mentality where like he'll just throw it up. Yeah. He'll like try to fit a ball like in between three defenders.
Yeah.
Which sometimes doesn't work. I mean, Brett Favre threw a lot of interceptions.
And he's also, in a sense, kind of close to Cam Newton, where he will like run into the defenders. I think Lamar Jackson tries to be more of an escape artist, and he won't take the hit.
Or the players can't catch him.
Or that too.
I mean, let's face it. I mean, he might be just running by linebackers.
Lamar, if he continues on this trajectory, he's going to be the best type of quarterback, like the ultimate version of this type of hybrid quarterback
like
that runs.
He's like the best dual threat.
Yeah.
I think without a doubt. I think even over Kyler Murray, he is the best dual threat quarterback in the league as far as running and passing.
Well, he has an edge over Kyler too, because just the size, right? We're talking about size.
I mean, but see, I think the thing you got going again, I think the Bills are a more storied franchise in a sense. I know they went 4 straight times, lost 4 straight times, but I think when you think of the Cardinals and you think of the Ravens, and even though the Ravens won in 13, they don't feel like they're as storied as the Packers, as the Bills, as the Cowboys, as the
I don't know.
Even the Titans, I feel like, are in another category. And
dude,
I don't
to
know
me,
why.
the Ravens always. I mean, they've always felt like a premier NFL team. Like growing up, they've always.
I always thought of the Ravens as like
a
defensive first team,
100%.
like
at the very least,
Ed
though,
Reed
that's what
and Ray Lewis and like that era
Yeah.
of football where they can win a game like 6-3.
They're gonna beat you up, right? So like, I mean, that's my point though. It's like you always thought about them in terms of football. Like they're not a forgotten team like that people just don't even care about, right? They put them on growing up. They put them on a lot of primetime TV. They've always had pretty good players. Maybe all more on the defensive side. They've had great players, but maybe the Bills. I don't know. I don't understand being $700 and Lamar's only $350.
And do you also think, and I don't want to get political, so we don't have to go the political route, but do you think what the stuff that happened with Aaron Rodgers maybe affects his MVP and affects his collectability?
No.
I mean, I didn't see a lot of.
That's all I got to say about that.
I don't want to really elaborate.
No.
But yeah.
Nope, and that's
That's all.
Next slide. Next slide.
You got the unanimous no between me and Dan. I think that's good.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting to see how this plans out. And obviously, I didn't put, like I said before, I didn't put Brady on this because I felt that we're not going to be able to really buy a Brady card in this price range.
Well, I see a lot of these cards here that like it's just the base rookies, right? So what would be the base rookie of Tom Brady that you would want? Would it be the Bowman Chrome?
Yeah, Bowman Chrome.
The Bowman Chrome.
There's a lot of other iterations, but like,
well, yeah, because Upper Deck had the football
because he was
license.
such a late draft pick, they didn't have the rookie photo shoot photos.
Yeah.
I think Bowman Chrome kind of came out later that year. They were able to get some photos of him playing. But like, I think there's the SPX one where he's wearing the red practice shirt, and it's just kind of. I mean, Derek Carr has those too because he didn't make the photo shoot that year. But he was an afterthought as far as where he was drafted.
Yeah, and I think of a Tom Brady base rookie, and again, like if the one everybody's probably going to be like, obviously it's a contenders rookie, but I'm not talking about the auto. I'm talking about what base rookie, non-auto, because that's what we're comparing here with the Prizms and the Stafford with the Chrome. I would actually agree with Doug in that Bowman Chrome. That Bowman Chrome would be the one that I would think.
And I'm trying to, on the fly, just see kind of where that price range is. Now there's the refractors that are just out of this world. I mean, we're talking about maybe $500,000 on some of the refractor versions. So a recent base PSA 10, $26,000. So for a PSA 10 Brady.
Don't we have one?
We have a 9.
We have a 9.
Yeah. So
So close.
So it's probably like 10K.
So close.
yeah, something around there. But you also got to. It's hard to compare because there's got to be fewer of those than there is Lamar Jackson base cards too. So.
Yeah, because you also got to think how much Bowman Chrome did they make in? Is it 01?
2000.
Shoot, I would be
2000.
happy with the PSA 9.
It might even be a BGS 9. I don't know. It's
It's in the vault forever.
Yeah.
Might even be an HGA.
Ace grading 9.37.
Morphological transformation.
7.2.
All right, so Dan already knows this, but we're getting into our, and I'll be naming the winner here shortly. And the new giveaway is going to be.
That's how many they made, not how much it.
Don't click. I didn't want to show them.
I don't even know what that is.
Okay, so these are the top 5 selling, not by money, but by volume, VHS tapes of all time. So see if you can name any of them. You might have seen the first slide. So
I think
maybe,
you saw the first one.
So we can say that one.
You
right
could
away.
also see it on the preview slide as well. So
I can't see the preview. I just see the first one.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park is in
I
the
can't tell what these other logos are though.
so Jurassic Park is number 1. I can flip.
No, it's number 5. It's in the 5th
Oh,
slot.
okay.
So
Okay.
that- it says
I'm kind of a big movie buff, so if I get this wrong, I'm gonna be upset at myself. So go
top
ahead.
selling VHSs. So consider the time period.
Okay.
Top selling or most made?
Most volume sold.
Most
so
volume sold.
24 million copies of Jurassic Park.
Okay.
VHS.
And that's number 5.
Number 5.
That's
5.
number 5.
Yeah.
All right. I think I can do this. Terminator 2.
Nope.
I thought I was so
man,
I was so confident.
You're
on that
pretty
one.
confident.
It
Now.
was a great movie though. I had that one.
Okay. If it's not Terminator 2, let me think. Home Alone.
No.
Star Wars.
No.
Damn, I'm just striking out.
curveballs.
Little Mermaid.
Getting warmer.
Okay. Cinderella.
Along the same lines.
Said that one.
Bambi.
Nope. A good flick though.
Hold on. Let me keep
So
thinking.
within the top 5, there's 3 Disney movies and then 2 regular.
Oh, I am getting close, huh? Lion King.
Yes, number 1.
I knew it. It only took me 10 tries.
So Lion King and is in the first slot, and these are courtesy of Golden Co. One of their Instagrams. So follow them. We also just did a giveaway with them. So, but Lion King, 32 million units sold, and
if the other Disney movie, it's got to be Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast.
Aladdin seconds, 30 million copies sold of Aladdin,
And
then Snow White, 28 million copies.
Okay.
And Titanic is in the 4th spot with 25 million. My Heart Will Go On. Everybody knows that famous
Titanic.
Leo DiCaprio.
Dual VHS, right?
Dude, you know why?
It might have been.
I think Titanic was 2 tapes.
It could because it was like a 4-hour
It
movie.
was like a
almost.
super long movie.
But
I only didn't want to say Titanic because it did come out during that period where it was like where we were just transitioning to other media. I feel like.
Yeah, there might have been some.
I would have gone E.T.
Yeah.
That would have been
Probably right in terms of box office, but not VHS sales.
Yeah, because that was early 80s.
That was
Maybe not
early.
everybody had a VHS. at
Forrest
that point.
Gump.
Yeah, but that also was a DVD crossover, I think, too. It was about that time period.
But Titanic makes sense because I remember as a kid, that movie stayed in the movie theater for like literally a year plus. Movies,
Yeah, that's right.
Movies generally get kicked out of the theater after like 4 months at most, right?
Now I think it's even
Like it's like a month.
Because that thing was almost in the theater for like a year.
I
Yes.
think it's based on obviously revenue, right? If
Yeah.
the revenue starts
people are
slowing
still
down, they're
watching
just
it.
like, okay, let's
Yeah.
send it out to DVD or
So
streaming
that
or
makes
whatever.
sense. That is one of the biggest VHS selling VHS
And,
at all
and
time.
how this ties into sports cards is we're going to go over some prices and talk about actually VHS grading. So wrap your head around that. But I want to get back into the conversation about VHSs. And you're right, because I remember, if you missed it at theater, it would be like 4 or 5 months before they printed it, right?
Yeah.
So now we're at the point where I think it's a little there's not movies in the theater much anymore. As of this point, they're starting to come back, but it usually goes right into Netflix or Disney Plus.
It would be. I remember when a movie would go to the theater, and by the time it would actually be on VHS, it would be like a year.
Yeah.
It would be. I don't know
be a
how.
long time.
It would be like a year.
And then you kind of lose, like, you forget about it. Unless you miss it in the theater, you're like, I can't wait until Blockbuster gets it. And then Blockbuster would get it, and it'd be like a whole wall of them. Like, if it was the week 1 of Jurassic Park, they have like 2 walls of Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
VHSs.
you wouldn't have an issue getting that one.
Yeah, sometimes you would though on some of the hot movies because everybody was going to get it.
Blockbuster when you had like
You better get there early.
It had the movie. It had the movie behind the box, right?
Yes.
So you had the movie behind the box, and then the Independents had the little tags, like little hook tags that you would take to the front.
Yes. Yeah, and they'd have them in the back.
You would have to get there early Friday after school if you wanted the best movies, bro.
Or you'd be like, "Hey, can you check and see if Titanic is back in?" And they go digging into the thing. And they're like, "No, not yet. Sorry."
Can you give me a call when it comes in?
Yeah.
I miss Blockbuster.
Dude, that was an event though, and then some of these younger cats, they're like, "Who cares?" But
Let me just turn it on Netflix.
But it was.
I got a question for you though. You know how they would have like two whole like sections of Titanic? After it was out for like a month, where would all those
they would sell the used
they would
ones.
just sell the
Yeah.
used ones, right?
Yeah.
Used
There would be
tapes.
a for sale section. Now I don't know if they would have all of them in that section.
Yeah, you're like, here is 87 Titanics to choose from. Which
Right.
one would you like?
Right. Maybe they had some kind of secondary market
Man,
outlet.
that business model of renting out VHS and DVDs, that was a good business model. Let's bring it back. That was a good. I mean, I do remember like VHS tapes. Like when they first came out, they were super expensive. Like
Yeah, $100.
DVDs were always relatively inexpensive, like
Yeah.
$20-$30, but VHS tapes were like $100.
Yeah. $100. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then remember at the beginning, there was Betamax. It was in VHS. The Betamax were smaller, I believe. But
So-
they just-
I didn't have Betamax.
neither did I.
So maybe this graded Jurassic Park VHS that sold for $465, maybe that isn't a bad price because
But there was 24 of them, 24 million of them sold. Like,
but they originally costed $100 when they first came out, though.
true.
Yeah.
That is true, and it's shrink.
But here's the
wrapped and
problem,
whatnot.
and in terms of the grading, and from what I could tell, and I just learned about it today because I saw it on Golden's going to be doing some auctions. There's two companies. This one's IGS, and I can only find IGS on eBay. And then there's the VHS DNA that Golden has, that Golden's promoting. That they have some collectibles here. But yeah, Jurassic Park sold for $465. But what you have to keep in mind is that these have to be sealed. You can't take. So that's the dilemma right here. Is that like how many VHSs did you have that were sealed? I had 0. Mine were
Zero.
all opened and watched, and
None.
yeah. So
Not a single one.
I mean, maybe because there was 24 million of them made, and Dan asked me this question before we were on air, so I'll ask you: how many of the 24 million that were printed and sold, how many you think are still sealed?
At 24 million,
Yeah, what percentage?
I would say a decent percentage. Like I thought 10%.
I'd say like 2 to 5%.
So if there-
Maybe I mean that's a good because I'm actually thinking from a consumer standpoint. Maybe Conrad's right because maybe places that were selling VHSs. I mean,
bunch of
what?
them.
Who would back in the day? Who would sell VHS tapes?
Sam Goody,
Sam Goody.
Musicland, Fry's Electronics, probably around
So,
here.
what would they do with all that product
Right.
that wouldn't sell? It would probably get liquidated to some third party, and if they couldn't sell it, where would it go? So, maybe there is like 8 to 10% of these VHS tapes that are still sealed. Who
But
knows?
you got to think from that time period when DVDs became prevalent and VHSs started dwindling down, that there was probably some website, right, that said like, I'll buy Musicland, I'll buy your whatever you have for pennies on the dollar, and then they put them on their website for like $5-6 or whatever and ship them. So there was probably some kind of
Oh
secondary
man,
market.
who in like 2000, 2002, 2003 were buying VHS tapes?
There probably had to at least be one website out there, right?
But who as a consumer? The DVDs were like the
Poppin'.
the quality was so much better.
This is the point I want to make. Okay. And I've watched I actually watched a decent amount of YouTube videos of like physical collectors talking about VHS specifically because I do collect games, I collect movies. I'm a collector of things, so I like to watch these type of things. VHS 1, like we're talking about, they made unlike cards and even unlike newer modern things, like they were produced in the tens of millions, 24 million copies sold.
Yeah.
And then not only that, the VHS quality is terrible.
It is.
It's terrible. I get you want, it's like some people probably do want to preserve like I love my physical content and I want to preserve it and I want to keep it. I want to have like a nice collection of it. So for what VHS's quality is freaking. Nobody ever wants to watch that ever again.
Be kind, rewind.
No, so we, maybe a year ago, we had a segment on the hype, and you were not here. It might have been just C-Rad, Cody, and myself. We were talking about grading VHS.
Yeah, I remember that.
And we were laughing about it. We're like, it's going to be the next thing. It's going to blow up. And we're just like, it's so dumb. No way. Like, a year later, we're sitting here talking about graded VHS tapes.
But
it was literally just going to be a matter of time.
If Golden is really trying to push this, and no disrespect, like obviously businesses can do what they want, collectors can do what they want. This is not something that I still don't see this blowing up. I still don't see a lot of people getting into this. Like, nobody's from a collector's perspective, collector's world. Like, I don't see nobody really collecting this stuff.
Man, I don't know, man. You may want to crack that slab and pop in the Jurassic Park and watch it.
Well, no, here's the thing. So go to that last slide. So we've got some recent sales of, like I said, IGS, Raiders of the Lost Ark. First print, 1983, $9,100.
How do we know? How do we know the first print, though?
There must be something on the box, I'm assuming. Return of the Jedi, 1987, anniversary VHS, IGS graded 8, $7,000. Another Star Wars, the original Star Wars, $7,000. So, but my question, and I hear what you're saying about the media being terrible, but wouldn't these look better than a DVD? Like I'm not saying from watching the movie. I'm saying from a collectible standpoint. Like, wouldn't this look better on your mantle than a DVD or a Blu-ray on your mantle?
Absolutely.
And that's what I think people were looking at.
I'm not even gonna say that. Like, I can't really speak because I'm more of a video game collector. I can't really say, like, if you're a super film buff, super film collector, like, I buy movies. And like majority of people, buy them to watch them, right? And I still do like having the physical copy. Preserving them, like preserving a VHS, like mint copy sealed. I guess to each their own, but I don't see the reason. For me personally, I don't see the reason why.
Why wouldn't you just?
I get your point. Like, it does look better than DVD. Like, I would never grade a DVD.
Right. Because yeah, it does seem silly, but then
couldn't we get into like grading movie posters, like the actual legit movie posters?
Those are huge.
They are. They are
because they don't make a lot of them either.
They don't make a lot of them. And if you want to talk about an art piece to display, that would be a lot cooler to display than the actual.
When we're talking about collectibles, right? The perceived value of a collectible, a lot of it is based on how rare that item is. Correct. And we're talking about. That's why you probably asked us why. What percentage do you think are sealed?
They only made 24 million Jurassic Parks, or sold 24 million.
But this one, that one's actually. I'm sorry, that one's a beta, so that's even more rare. So that first one there is a Betamax.
If it's
so that's.
But
so that's the Betamax might be even more like to find one of those sealed.
Betamax, I can see that maybe
even worse quality.
But
Probably.
VHS
was Betamax worse.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for $28,000 or best offer. Like, please tell me that the offer that was taken was like $1,000 at most.
I don't think so.
But see, that's a double mint, so it's got the two highest level of grades that you can get, and it says Scarce Alliance variant, top of Sense's Holy Grail. And to be honest, dude, I was such a Ninja Turtle fan as a kid.
Me too.
And I'll change this slide for you guys here on the show. I was such a big Ninja Turtle fan. I remember seeing that in the theater, and then I think getting that for Christmas, the VHS, and I wore that thing out. I love that. I was practicing the moves.
I watched Turtles like 1,000 times, just probably like you did. If there's somebody's listening that is a VHS collector and would like to come on and explain it to me, please do so. Reach out.
Well, both these companies are.
Teenage Ninja Turtles 2 is really the better one with Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
Go Ninja, go Ninja, go.
That was that was classic too.
And then people may ask, how do you grade? And I'm finding that right now. So I'm on the IGS grading services, and I'm VHS Betamax grading. So how they do it is they base it on the box corners, which is there's 8 corners on a VHS and a Betamax. So all 8 corners are assessed. The damage area of a corner is 1 32 inch of laterally and vertically, and the area in between. The corner damage can be assessed lower than 1 blah, blah, blah. They don't want to see any whiting. So minimal deductions is slight whitening. Corner point is minimally rounded. Moderate deductions would be corner has been slightly smashed, but none are little crease in the box. And keep in mind, these have to be sealed. They're not. You can't get these ones at garage sales and send them in a regular. They have to be in the seal still, which limits the pop report.
What about if people start getting cellophane and wrapping up?
There's probably a way to tell, right? If it's
I would hope so, but I mean, where there's a will, there's a way.
True. I mean, both of these companies, from what I can tell, started recently. So this thing that's going on.
That means somebody's trying to push this. That
What
it doesn't make any sense.
What a time!
Dude,
time! Like what?
Okay.
Hey, what up? What business did you just start? Oh, I'm starting to grade VHS tapes. Like,
Hold on.
Why not?
This is okay. Now that you said that, I thought this was a thing that has been around. If these two companies just started this, these are people that are trying to start something that doesn't exist and that will never exist.
Somebody listened to a hype episode about a year ago and we're like, you know what?
You're right. Now, don't quote me on it. The IGS website looks like they did start it in 95 based on how the quality of the website is. But it did say copyright 2020. I don't know if that's correct or not, so I don't know. I can confirm that the VHS DNA website was started about a year and a half ago, and that's the one that's on Golden.
But they don't have anything on eBay in the marketplace.
They do not.
So they've been around for a year and a half, and not one graded piece is left through the door.
Well, and then also to make C-Rad's dying over here. So you call it maybe a little smoke and mirrors here is what we're alluding to. And then the IGS website supposedly is so backlogged they're only doing the $299 service for grading. They're not doing the $55 standards.
Please don't fall for this. Do not send in your
So
physical sealed VHS.
I was trying to buy some sealed ETs over like the last week and a half,
Dan already did it.
And this is not. I'm not joking. I was like, we're going in. We're going in. I see the future. So I almost literally, and then I was going to spend $300 to get it graded by IGS, and then they were going to come back, and they're all, I don't know.
Guys, please don't send in your VHS
Dude,
for $300.
I might do it, man.
I'm all in. I'm all in on this idea.
You're not one. You're going to be wasting $300 to get it graded. That's the first thing. Two, once you get your VHS graded back, nobody is buying it because those are fake sales.
Ooh, in quotes. That was C-Rad, not me. I want part of the company.
I
want to get in on this company, guys. No, I'm kidding.
I want to get in. You don't want to miss the boat, do you?
Hey, you remember?
We can be talking about this, and we can be like laughing, saying that, man, if we would have just jumped in on that VHS game early.
No.
Even though it actually started 40 years ago.
Yo, this has got to be this has got to be a pump group trying to push this or something. I don't know.
I mean, it could be. But movie is nostalgic like
we
cards.
saw it with the video game WADA, right?
There was a YouTube video on WADA that
which was also fraudulent because dude, you guys remember when we made that video and you guys were telling me, oh, this Super Mario sold for $2 million. On that same episode, I was like, there's something weird going here because I collect video games and video games don't normally go for this much money, even if they're high graded, especially a recent one like Super Mario 64. Yeah. I said that on the video, and then like if you guys really do your due diligence and research WADA and all this other video game sealed sales and now video games can get it really expensive, but not $2 million expensive. So don't the video games that get really really expensive are the ones that like were never really mass produced and they're like kind of like one like they may have made like,
but you can kind
of
it was
like
a
promo game they made like a couple hundred.
But you could be devil's advocate here and say this is in the same category because it's who keeps a sealed VHS.
No, see, video games are different because there is not a single video game that was produced in the tens of millions, 24 million copies. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, because it's a little bit slightly of a less demographic that's going to buy it.
Okay, big games like Grand Theft Auto, yeah,
okay,
sure.
So
yeah.
So let's go ahead and say this: like everybody that you know that's within our age demographic owned a VHS.
Yes.
Owned a player.
Yeah.
Everybody had a VHS player.
Yes. It might have been attached to the TV.
Did everybody you know have a
Nintendo
or Sega Genesis? Yeah, probably a lot of them, but not everybody. Like
People would own one or the other, right?
Yeah.
Or like something like that.
But everybody, I mean, people had people had like a VHS player in like every room.
True. Yeah. That's
Like
a good point.
in that age demographic, somebody who is 10 years old may have had a VHS player in a room, and somebody who is like 95 years old
had a VHS.
probably had a VHS. So it's a lot of consumers right there.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I
And
agree.
I'm sorry you guys seen C-Rat on tilt because this VHS crap
No,
got
and
me
I
hyped,
don't.
bro.
Hey, I don't disagree with you at all. But I do see that. I mean, trading cards are nostalgia. Video games are nostalgia. This is nostalgia.
It's like the
This is
fine
nostalgia.
people of the movie production companies were like, you know what? We start showing these movies to people. I think they're gonna like them. Wait, we may have something here.
But before we go, guys, I wanted to name the winner of last week's contest for the $150 break credit would be Phil P. Phil Palmasano. I believe I'm saying that correctly. So contact us through mojobreak.com through our contact form, and we'll get you that credit. The giveaway this week. What is your favorite movie of all time?
Ooh, I'm actually very interested in this. I want to see your
Favorite-
guys' best comments.
Dude, so do I. And we'll actually, before we go, I want to know what your guy. I think we may have done this before, but we'll rehash it here. What is your favorite movie
That's-
of all time?
Dumb and Dumber.
Damn, that's tough to beat, bro. My favorite movie of all time. It's tough, man. The first Lord of the Rings.
Ooh, that is obscure. I mean, not
That's a
obscure,
lot of
obscure.
walking.
Did not expect that. I think I'll have to go. I'll have to go with Terminator 2. I just I remember going to the theater with my dad, and I think came out on Independence Day in the theater. I remember going to Century Theaters here in the Bay Area, and then just waiting for that thing. I think I went and seen it again with a buddy, and then just acting out the liquid metal it was like one of the first movie with special effects of that quality.
Really good
at the
special
time.
effects, yeah.
Guns N' Roses on the soundtrack, which I actually was one of the first CDs I owned specifically because of the "You
Terminator.
Could Be Mine" song while I was on the motorcycle.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Yeah.
It was off of. They actually put it on Use Your Illusion too.
Yes, and that was one of the first
Yeah.
CDs I'd owned. That and Shaggy,
Yeah.
not Shaggy 2 Dope, but Shaggy, Mr. Boombastic, and I remember my mom bought those for me at Costco. So, but just I don't know, I can't pick one over that. I mean, Dumb and Dumber's probably in my top 5 as well. Lord of the Rings would not be in my top 20, but
I was going. It was either Dumb and Dumber or There's Something About Mary, which I think is super underrated flick.
Superbad probably cracks my top 5. A little bit more funny when I was in my 20s than it is now. Step Brothers probably cracks my top 5. Idiocracy is probably my top 10.
Ooh, Idiocracy is a good one.
Top 10.
I watched that Terminator 2 not DVD, VHS like a million times. I ran that VHS to the ground, bro. I watched that movie a lot as a kid.
When
The
was
liquid metal Terminator.
I gotta?
How do you stop them?
This is a good. What was the first ever mass-produced DVD? Does anybody know?
DVD.
don't know.
And when did? I mean, I would assume DVDs probably came out in.
It had to have been like
I'm gonna say
94?
like 96 maybe.
94 to 96.
Probably another
something like
Disney
that.
one, to be honest.
But that's a good trivia question. What was the first mass-produced DVD? Because there had to be a movie that was released, and they're like, we're gonna put this out on we're gonna put this out on DVD.
It was a perfect movie for the new format, for the new DVD format.
This may be a question that nobody has an answer to. There might not. The interwebs may not actually have an answer to this.
Oh, they'll know. They'll know.
Well, they have. Okay, here we go. Finding Nemo sold 38 million DVDs.
That was not the first one.
Yeah, because that was a 2001 movie.
It might be.
2003.
So what they did is they combined the formats.
There's
So because Lion King sold 47 million across all formats.
because I worked at a video store in 1998, and we were renting DVDs.
Well, Finding Nemo came out in 2003, so it's probably at the height of DVDs, and it sold 520,000 VHSs, but it sold 38 million DVDs.
I know that was a great movie.
Yeah, and I can't 23,000 DVDs of Cars.
So Disney just dominates the movie game.
Yeah, they do. Shrek 2 sold, and that's not Disney, but 18 million. So it's hard to say.
Well, technically, Finding Nemo was Pixar.
Well,
before Disney.
when did DVDs come out? Like when was the first?
It had to be mid-90s.
I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna say 1996.
I'll say 95.
Because actually, when were Laserdisc was before. So whenever
For a short period of time.
whenever Laserdisc came out,
My dad had a Laserdisc.
My grandfather did.
The DVD was like right on the heels of that. It was like these Laserdiscs, the quality is amazing, but they're giant.
I remember some
Like,
of the. I'll tell you.
wasn't it like a record?
It was a record.
so.
I'll tell you some of the first DVDs that I owned. Austin Powers. Those are some of the first DVDs
Okay.
that I ever owned.
Okay.
From what I could tell, and then if we want to skip into Blu-ray, which is not even close to the significant numbers.
Blu-ray was in the 2000s.
Blu-ray, from what I could tell, Avatar sold about 8 million copies. So a significant drop-off from Blu-ray
Wasn't
to DVD to
Blu-ray
VHS.
like? Isn't that like owned by Sony? Doesn't
Yes.
Sony own like that
Well,
technology?
if you remember, Xbox came out and they supported HD DVD.
Oh yeah.
Sony had Blu-ray, and then
Late 1996,
What?
first DVD.
It was developed in 95, but released in late 96. So you were right.
Called it.
Dude, I don't know how I do it. I don't know how I do it.
I don't know. Maybe it has to do with the fact you worked in a video store in 98.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I had hands-on experience.
Twister and Mars Attack were the first two DVDs.
Okay,
Twister's a good flick.
that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Because Twister was like a lot of action scenes going on and whatnot.
I think. Remember when CDs? Because CDs came out, and remember that instead of it just being a compact disc, it was in a big box.
Oh yeah, the one.
I
that was
think
like
they
that.
did that with
box.
DVDs.
I think so too.
Where it
Big
was like
box.
a big box, and then the case was inside of it.
Yeah, I remember the Austin Powers DVD being really awkward. They were like, you had to flick the tab open on the side, and then it wasn't just like a DVD case. It was like it had a whole separate additional tab on the side.
Remember the plastic
Plastic tab.
the plastic holders that the CDs would come in? Like if you go to like Warehouse or Tower Records, or it was like you'd go take it up, and if for whatever reason like they didn't take it off correctly, and like you had to try to get it out of that plastic thing, it was like impossible.
Oh, like security ones.
Like the security ones.
Yeah, like they were
Yeah.
like extra big.
Like they were like extra big, but like
They're
the
like the size of
CD
the-
was right here, but like it had this extra just plastic that would wrap around it. It
Yeah.
was impossible to get it out.
try to stop people. Stop.
Oh,
people
you
from
mean trying to
stealing
grab
it.
the seam on the plastic?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh god.
Well, no, I'm just talking about the actual plastic. Remember the
Yeah.
anti-security
Security holder,
thing?
yeah.
It had like these giant.
See, I never
plastic things on
physically
it.
took one off. The old person that bought them would take them off for me.
Yeah, no, I remember trying to get one off at one point. Not that I was like jacking anything. I just think when it just was on for whatever reason.
Yeah, and then and then it was hard to get the CD open, and then you would have to cut it had the name of the CD on the top. Remember on a sticker?
Yeah.
You'd have to open up too.
That was Yep.
Was difficult, especially when you were trying to drive and you're like, I'm going to open the CD while I'm driving. It's just not a good idea.
Nope.
But that is it, guys. And make sure you do comment for the giveaway on the Mojo Break Media. So if you're listening to the audio podcast, jump on over and try to win $150 in break credit.
Start grading CDs.
So follow us at Mojo Break M on Twitter for Mojo Break Media, at Mojo Break _com for our breaks. And we'll see you guys next week. Cody's going to be coming back soon, guys. We miss Cody. So
What
he'll be back.
else can we grade? We should have done that as a trivia. What can we grade?
Hot sauce bottles.
Dude, I was gonna say I would rather.
Hey, the beer can game. I was into that for a bit. I bought them at the. I bought some old beer cans.
You're gonna like they would
Old
have to be
cans
they would
have-
have to be
have value.
they would have to be closed.
No, I think some of them sell them empty as long as it's in good shape. There's some old cans, but anyways, maybe another segment on another show that we'll talk about what else is valuable in the collectible, like alternative collectibles. So.
And don't collect VHSs. Bye.
All right, guys, we'll see you guys next week. Peace.